All having a great start to your day. I'm certified broadcast meteorologist Erica Martine. And guys, we are on our platform this morning. I hope you're all having a great start to your day. Good morning, Tracy Lipnicki. I'm so excited to have you on today. Remember, guys, if you are not on all of our platforms, including X, Twitch, Facebook, and I believe YouTube, as well as our Weather Co-op page, you'll be missing a really great update we're getting right now from Tracy Lipnicki, giving us an update on how this extreme heat is actually impacting our pockets. That's right. You guys, we do want to hear more about this because anytime we hear of things like these natural disasters or extreme weather conditions, keep in mind that we here at Weather Co-op are also tracking how they impact your lifestyle, your wellness, your pocket. Oh, that's so important, right? And so much more. But right now, if you are joining us across our several platforms, we're so excited to introduce Tracy Lipnicki. Tracy, take it away because I love everything you tell us and I'm taking notes right now. Go for it.
Thanks so much, Erica. I'm so pleased to be here to talk to you about. But timing about heat is pretty, it's spot on right now. And right now, like if you've seen in the weather, there is 130 million people that are impacted by the heat right now. So that's like nearly 1/3 of the US population. And so with that impact, in fact, today is forecast to be the hottest day on record in the US. We're in one of the cities in Death Valley. Actually, it's expected to be the hottest day on record ever. So the last hottest day was in the year 2013. No, yeah, back in 1913 was the last hottest day. Now it is today is expected to be the hottest day. And President Biden last week actually just introduced a new bill that is designed to help protect the workers, because if you're working in excessive heat, I'm not sure if you guys are aware also, but excessive heat is actually the weather disaster or impact that causes the most deaths. So more deaths happen due to excessive heat than from any other weather condition at all. So putting together hurricanes, storms, earthquakes, all of those, more deaths occur every year due to heat than the others combined. And so it is a thing that's important for us, and we need to be able to prepare for that. In terms of the impact on our pockets, on our bottom line, I put together a slide, so let's have a look at that. And so we can see here that, there is a lot of things that impact us because of the heat wave. And like I said, 1/3 of the US population is impacted. So obviously, public health costs increase because there are a lot of increased emergency visits that happen. Local governments obviously incur additional costs because of setting up cooling centers, providing free transportation. And like I said, the federal government is going to be helping too. They're putting in place measures to train workers to learn how to keep themselves cool, how to stay safe during these extreme conditions. Obviously, air conditioning, we all know and expect that air conditioning costs go up. That actually puts big impacts on the power supply. So it increases, power grid. In fact, there can be rolling outages as well. Actually, I have friends even in Los Angeles area that, their air conditioning is breaking down because of the strain. So there's a lot of impact there. Business disruptions as well. So when people are staying home, obviously then, that impacts retail, their ability to make a living. Outdoor events can be cancelled. There are actually some coming up in the Seattle region where they're actually having to modify and have cooling stations. So it's additional cost involved in that. It can cause increased obviously there'll be increased sales of air conditioning and increase and air conditioning services and suppliers. Obviously, it's good for them, for their businesses, but it can then also cause temporary shortages and, not enough supply to get around to service your air conditioner. And then on the food side, obviously crop damage, right? So extreme heat can harm crop yields, so that can impact prices for you, right? So berries, cherries, and apples, for example, those like cooler temperatures generally, and so when it's too hot for them, those crops may spoil, and that will push up prices for us. Then also livestock, right? So just like that extreme heat can cause deaths, illness and death for humans, also for livestock, which affects our meat and dairy production. And then the labor market, right? So, it can cause, like I said, there are measures being put in place by the federal government, but obviously it slows down work, right? If you can't work when it's 50 degrees and higher, that is going to make it productivity slower, especially in construction and agriculture again, and that can increase costs and slow down projects. And if we're looking at specifically the type of food impacts, that the foods that will be impacted specifically, so in that Pacific Northwest region of the US, so berries and tree fruits, heat stress and sunburn. Obviously, it's going to reduce the quality and yield of berries, apples, and cherries. It can cause premature ripening, which can impact their taste and marketability. So expect prices of berries, apples, and cherries to increase. And I know a lot of people like berries because of their, antioxidant, and they have fiber as well. So those are really good for us, but you can expect prices to go up. Also, vegetables like lettuce, spinach, and broccoli, those are all grown and a lot of those are grown and come from that area too. They need a lot of water, right? So high temperatures cause bolting. If you don't know what bolting is, basically it's when it causes the plant to flower and seed early, which stops them producing those nice leafy, like those nice green leaves that we like and we're looking for in our diets. Livestock, I mentioned already, heat stress. It can cause weight gain in cattle, decreased milk production. So, dairy is a big part of our diet here. Also reduces the nutritional quality of the foods that they eat, right? So if you have grass-fed beef, if the grass is impacted by the heat, then it's no longer, they have to supplement with other food sources. And then also grains, right? So heat damage, lower qualities, and strain on water, right? So a lot of things need water. And now that this heat wave is impacting and going even further south, right, it's likely to impact on other produce as well, like avocados, which are huge. They need a lot of water in putting them together. And so really just the last thing I wanted to touch on, because of the amount of deaths that we hang on, let's see, sorry, here we go. Yeah, so what does this all mean for you? Higher prices, increased insurance costs, and then higher taxes, right? In order to be able to put, for the government, obviously the money that they're putting into it has to come from somewhere, which is generally out of our pocket. But I did want to touch on, we started talking about it on Tuesday, was insurance. Insurance is where we pass the risk to somebody else. And is where we pass the risk to somebody else. And a lot of people they'll insure their houses, they'll insure their cars, they'll insure their jewelry, but it's important that we insure ourselves as well, right? So even from the hurricane that we spoke about, Beryl, that we spoke about earlier, like there were people impacted where, trees fell on houses and, killed. There was actually one case with a family where a tree fell on a house. It killed the husband, and then the wife and children were left survived, weren't impacted at all. The issue, though, is that, yes, they more than likely had insurance on the house, so the house will be built, but did they have insurance on the husband, right? So what about his income that is now no longer coming into that household? And so, impacts from whether they be from natural disasters or from weather, then that all can be, it's something that we need to protect ourselves from and be thinking about in terms of risk mitigation. And so that's my update for today. And so I will hand back over to Erica. And thanks, Erica. I look forward to speaking with you all again next week.
Tracy, thank you so much for that amazing update. I think so many people really don't understand the overall impact, or as we said yesterday, the unintended consequences of all these things that happen. And so it's really nice to, I think, allow people to get a deep dive into how these extreme weather events affect them. And oftentimes, I don't like to, I'm not a fear monger by any chance. I hate that idea. But I think it's smart for people to understand that there could be, or there is, a correlation between the price of milk going up because of a certain extreme weather event or natural disaster. So I just think what we do here and what you're doing with your entire, I think, mindset is just giving people the power to understand and to just perhaps be prepared. And even if they're not prepared, what they can do afterwards. Like, what could you, in this case, I mean, there's nothing we can do, right? It's summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern. Yeah, northern hemisphere. Did I say that right? Yeah, I did. Northern hemisphere, yeah. Winter in the southern hemisphere. What are a few tips that you might offer some people?
Yeah, I mean, the first one would be to be prepared as much as possible, right? Like, we know that this happens now on a regular basis. We know that summer's coming up, so make sure that your air conditioners are serviced in winter, so that they're prepared for when it's coming, right? And in terms of the hurricanes, if you're going into hurricane season now, if you're on the other side of the country, then you want to be making sure that your home insurance, but also, be looking at life insurance, right? Like, protect your income, because if something happens to you that you can't work, then you want to make sure that your family is taken care of and you still have money coming in to pay the bills. So whether that's by having enough set aside in savings, or whether that's having life insurance or income protection insurance, you want to make sure that you're prepared in advance.
Thank you, Tracy. So if you all do not know this, Tracy is one of our co-hosts. So we have our Weather Co-op show that comes out soon, and she's hosting her financial segment in the weather world and how those two things do correlate. And as you can hear, they do correlate. So we're excited for all of this to roll out soon enough. We just can't thank Tracy enough, because in case you didn't know this, she's in Australia right now. So completely different time zone, completely different season, actually. So there you go. So she's definitely a trooper as far as we're concerned around here. Tracy, thank you so much for always just giving us the best insight, and for just putting this all into context, and just giving us, I think, a lot more power to choose and to do something that we think can help our lives, our families, when it comes to these types of situations where sometimes we feel like we're not in control, because we're not, Mother Nature is. But you definitely put it into context, and you definitely help us get a little bit more power under our belt. We're really grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Have a great day, or great night. Bye.